pigs, it would seem. Didn't expect that.
Good morning, sunshine.
Enough said. A morning person I am not, and it sounds like other people may be starting to recognize this as well. Oh, I miss my dogs. Oh yeah. Jeff just remembered that I needed to get Hank to show me how to get into the top box. Dirt simple once you know the secret. Yet another IQ test I've failed.
Oh, it's going to be a long day of riding. 400 kilometers of tarmac. My bet he's going to be sore tonight.
Anyway, this was a nice little place, the Auas Lodge. Great place to hang out for an evening, have a few beers. Bazil and I watched a rugby match with some of the locals in the bar. Bazil tried to explain the rules to me. Let's just call that another IQ test I failed. This is getting a bit demoralizing. Still had a great time. So there are occasionally days on a long trip when you just have to kind of suck it up and log some miles and make some basic sacrifices to logistics. We're doing a trip that's the equivalent of riding from Seattle to Miami if the US was still mostly dirt roads and there was only one decent-sized city along the whole route. Windhoek is that city, and it's also home to the only BMW dealer outside of South Africa, at least until you get all the way up to Nairobi. And it just so happens that there's also a KTM dealer there as well. And given that we've got a couple of BMWs that need a little work and a 690 that needs a new fuel pump, well, basically we're going to Windhoek, even if it's kind of a full day's riding out of the way. So today and tomorrow are kind of servants to logistics. We're logging a little over 400 kilometers of open tarmac today down to a lodge just south of Windhoek, and then turning around tomorrow and logging another 400 kilometer day, about half of which will just be retracing our steps from today. This is the little town of Otjiwarongo, and believe it or not, I've actually been here before. I'll tell you more about that story after we get some gas. What's that?
You want to swap bikes for the next stint then?
Sure, love to.
Okay.
Okay, so as I mentioned, my wife and I have actually been here before. In fact, we stayed just down one of these little roads to the left in a little campground that was surrounded by razor wire. We think to keep the warthogs out, or the crocodiles. There's a crocodile farm on one side of it. Why crocodiles, I have no earthly idea. Actually, that's the road right there. Also, the campground has a bar, and the bar plays thumping techno music until 1 a.m. And the campground also has a church right across the parking lot from the bar. And on the night we stayed there, the church was hosting a traveling religious revival and prayer service. There were gospel songs, the laying on of hands, people speaking in tongues, all amplified through a PA system cranked up to go toe-to-toe with the techno music across the parking lot of the bar. We didn't get much sleep that night. It's so beautiful out here. There's just no place like Africa for vistas like this. Just incredible.
Been at this gas station before. Tried coffee here. Crazy small world.
This is a great little coffee shop. The carrot cake is awesome, but if you want pure bang for the buck, get the chocolate muffin. I guarantee you won't need to eat again for a week.
Hi. I scared the poor little girl. She looked around. I scared that poor little girl. She looked around and went, oh.
All right, next stop, Windhoek. Dave, come on, man. Wait, you think he's trying to lose me off the back? We're coming into the outskirts of Windhoek now, and I always kind of wonder if this is what people expect when they think of Africa. I mean, Africa's got a million different faces and characters. That's the thing I love about it. But some of those faces may seem surprisingly familiar to folks who haven't traveled here yet.
Yeah, it's a rough life just cruising around looking for good beer pubs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the classic Namibian.
Are you doing the French accent?
What is it?
Funny when it's done.
The bobo tea.
What's in it?
Bobo and titi.
All right, I need a new pair of sunglasses. The screw popped out on my prescription glasses yesterday and I can't find it. And Kevin needs an adapter for his phone charger, which gives he, Jeff, and I an excuse to act like teenage girls and go hang out at the mall on a Sunday afternoon. So that's where we're headed. The mall. I love this section of Windhoek. What a cute neighborhood. Aw, nice guy letting us all stick together.
Oh yeah, we still got a ways to go. So
This whole being a teenage girl thing's a rough business, at least from a navigation standpoint. We can't even find the mall. There it is. And I just lost Kevin and Jeff. Awesome.
man, you're braver than I don't know that I would have gone down another
Well, I don't. If you'd have left it at the top, there's people that have been pinching things.
Oh my God. Actually getting into the mall was a total adventure in its own right. We went in one entrance to the parking garage and the bikes didn't trip the thing to give us a ticket and raise the gate. So we had to turn 3 big bikes around with 5 cars behind us and a single narrow little lane thing with high curbs on both sides, snake back past the cars, then circle the mall a couple of times looking for another entrance that actually worked, totally figuring that the exact same thing was going to happen again. Anyway, we got sunglasses and a phone adapter. We hung out at the mall in Windhoek on a Sunday afternoon. Now let's get the heck out of here.
Just come up on the map. Come up on the map. Oh, you got it. Good. Okay. Beautiful.
Too many weird experiences at security checkpoints so far, knock on wood. But the guy back there actually made us all pull out our driver's licenses to check that we had motorcycle endorsements. He verified mine and Jeff's, but didn't understand the endorsement scheme on Kevin's British license, so then Kevin had to go digging around for his international driver's permit. No sweat, but come on, you think somebody rented us 3 BMWs without checking to see if we could legally ride and insure them first? And the guy was completely humorless, one of those folks that just likes to be a pain because they can. It's amazing how often those folks seem to end up directing traffic somewhere. Anyway, oh my word, look at this place. Maybe there is a heaven. This is one of those moments in life of pure grace that just never seemed to quite last long enough. careful coming over some of these rises. I've nearly gotten airborne a couple of times. I'm at a bit of a loss for words. It's just so stunningly beautiful out here. Can't believe we're riding motorbikes across Africa. This will do for the evening. This is the Auas Safari Lodge. It's like 40K down a beautiful dirt road. Wonderful riding. Let's see what we got for a bathroom. Yeah, nice. This'll do. Brilliant riding this last bit. You go like, actually all the way from Windhoek. It's absolutely amazing. The riding's just fantastic. It's some of the most beautiful anywhere. The actual riding itself, these big sweeping curves and stuff, and the scenery is just amazing. Then you turn off the paved road from Windhoek and head about 40 kilometers down a dirt road. It's got some huge, like 100-foot deep swells, have some like false dips. At one point I was following Kevin and went over the hill, and then he just completely disappeared from sight, and I thought for sure he'd like gone off into the woods or something somehow, but then he just appeared in the middle of the road again. I had to start slowing down because I was afraid that I'd actually start catching some air. So but yeah, fantastic day of riding.